Seniors, did you know that keeping the wrong foods in your refrigerator could silently rob them of their nutrients, ruin their natural flavor, and in some cases even make them harmful to your health? For decades, most of us have believed the fridge is a safe place for nearly everything. But science now shows that when it comes to certain foods, cold storage does more harm than good. And here is the shocking part. These are not exotic ingredients or specialty foods. They are everyday staples that most seniors eat regularly. Today, we are going to uncover 9 common foods you should never refrigerate. I will explain why cold air changes their chemistry, how it affects your digestion and overall health, and the right way to store them, so you can get the maximum benefit. Mistake number 1 is especially important, because it can turn one of the world's healthiest superfoods into a breeding ground for harmful compounds that actually increase your risk of disease. Let's start from food number 9 is potatoes. Potatoes are a trusted comfort food, rich in potassium and resistant starch, that can support healthy digestion and energy levels. But once you place them in the refrigerator, the cold environment changes their natural starches into sugars. At first glance, that might not seem like a big deal, but here's where it gets dangerous. When those sugars are exposed to high heat during cooking, like baking, frying, or roasting, they form acrylamide. Acrylamide is a chemical that research has linked to nerve damage and even a higher risk of certain cancers. For seniors who may already be managing blood sugar and nerve health, this is a hidden risk that can add up quickly. The right way to store potatoes is not in the fridge, but in a cool, dark pantry or cupboard. Use a paper bag or a mesh sack to allow airflow and prevent mold. Stored this way, they keep their flavor, texture, and nutrients without the dangers of refrigeration. Food number 8 is bread. Many people place bread in the refrigerator to keep it from spoiling, but this is a mistake. Refrigeration accelerates a process called starch retrogradation. In simple terms, this means the starch molecules crystallize faster in the cold, making the bread go stale up to 6 times quicker. Instead of staying soft, it dries out, becomes crumbly, and loses its flavor. For seniors who rely on bread for easy, quick meals, this can make eating less enjoyable and may even lead to wasting food. The safer choice is to store bread at room temperature in a bread box, paper bag, or cloth wrap. This keeps it fresh for several days. And if you want to keep it much longer, freezing is the best option. Slice it first, freeze it, and then toast or warm slices as needed. This way, your bread tastes fresh every time without the damage caused by refrigeration. Food number 7 is honey. Honey is unique. It is naturally antibacterial and has no expiration date when stored correctly. In fact, archaeologists have found jars of honey in ancient tombs that were still edible after thousands of years. But refrigerating honey destroys this natural stability. In the fridge, honey quickly crystallizes, becoming gritty, grainy, and difficult to use. Cold temperatures also introduce condensation, which can dilute honey and reduce its antibacterial strength. For seniors who often use honey to soothe coughs, ease digestion, or as a healthier sweetener, refrigeration quietly steals away those benefits. The correct method is to keep honey tightly sealed in its jar at room temperature, stored in a dark cupboard away from sunlight. If your honey does crystallize, you can easily fix it by placing the jar in warm, not boiling, water and letting it slowly return to liquid form. Food number 6 is coffee. Many seniors keep coffee beans or grounds in the refrigerator, thinking it preserves freshness. But the opposite happens. Coffee is extremely absorbent. It soaks up odors and moisture from everything around it. That means the garlic, onions, or leftovers in your fridge may be changing the taste of your morning coffee without you realizing it. Moisture also breaks down the antioxidants in coffee and makes mold growth more likely. In fact, studies show coffee stored in humid environments can lose up to 60% of its aroma within 1 week. And since coffee's natural oils are where many of its health benefits reside, this is a major loss. The correct method is to store whole beans or grounds in an airtight, opaque container at room temperature in a dark cupboard. Grind only what you need for the day. And if you want long-term storage, freezing is far better than refrigerating. Just be sure to portion beans into small airtight bags or jars so you do not thaw and refreeze repeatedly. Food number 5 is garlic. Garlic has been used for centuries as a natural remedy for infections, high blood pressure, and heart problems. The secret is in allicin, the powerful compound released when garlic is crushed or chopped, but refrigerating garlic bulbs destroys that potency. In the cold, garlic sprouts quickly, and those green shoots not only taste bitter, but also signal nutrient decline. Even worse, the moisture of the fridge creates a breeding ground for mold, which can produce harmful toxins. For seniors who depend on garlic as part of a heart-healthy diet, this can mean losing out on key protective benefits. The correct way to store garlic is at room temperature, in a dry, ventilated basket or mesh bag. When stored this way, bulbs can last for months. Once peeled, garlic should be used within a couple of days, but whole bulbs should never be refrigerated. Food number 4 is bananas. Bananas are one of the most common fruits for seniors, offering potassium, magnesium, and quick energy. But putting them in the fridge creates chilling injury. The cold ruptures their delicate cell walls, turning the peel black and the flesh mushy. Even worse, refrigeration halts the natural ripening process. This prevents the conversion of starches into sugars, so the banana never reaches its full sweetness or nutritional potential. For seniors, this means losing not only taste, but also valuable nutrients like vitamin C. The right way to store bananas is at room temperature, preferably hanging to avoid bruises. If you want to slow the ripening, wrap the stems with plastic wrap. If you need ripe bananas for smoothies, peel and freeze them instead. Frozen bananas actually blend better and make creamier recipes than refrigerated ones. Food number 3 is onions. Onions are rich in antioxidants and compounds that support heart and immune health. But once refrigerated, they become soggy, mold-prone, and their natural flavors change. Cold temperatures convert their starches into sugars, which affects both taste and cooking performance. Onions stored in the fridge also release moisture, which can damage other nearby foods. The safe choice is to store onions whole in a cool, dry, well-ventilated space, such as a pantry. Use a mesh bag, basket, or even pantyhose to allow airflow. Remember, never store onions next to potatoes. The gases they emit cause both to spoil faster. Cut onions, however, can be kept in the fridge, but only tightly wrapped and for no more than 1 or 2 days. Food number 2 is tomatoes. This one often surprises people because we're used to tossing them in the fridge without a second thought. But refrigeration causes tomatoes to lose their flavor permanently. Cold air shuts down the genes responsible for producing their natural taste compounds. Even if you take them back out, the damage is already done. Beyond taste, refrigeration reduces lycopene, the powerful antioxidant that protects against heart disease and cancer, by more than half. For seniors who depend on lycopene-rich foods for cardiovascular health, this is a major loss. To preserve both taste and nutrients, store tomatoes at room temperature, stem side down, in a single layer. Avoid stacking them and keep them out of plastic bags, which trap moisture and encourage mold. Use them within a few days of ripening for the best flavor and nutrition. And finally, food number 1, avocados. Avocados are often celebrated as one of the healthiest superfoods, filled with heart-healthy monounsaturated fats, potassium, and antioxidants that support brain function. But refrigerating them can turn this gift into a hidden danger. Cold temperatures damage the delicate fats inside avocados, triggering oxidation that creates harmful compounds known as free radicals. Within just a few days, a refrigerated avocado can lose up to 90% of its antioxidant capacity. Instead of staying creamy, it turns stringy and bitter. For seniors, who may rely on avocados to support circulation, memory, and nutrient absorption, this is a serious loss. The right way to store avocados is to let them ripen at room temperature. Once ripe, you can refrigerate them for 1 to 2 days if absolutely necessary, but freshness and nutrition decline quickly. A better approach is to buy avocados at different stages of ripeness, so you always have one ready. If you cut into one, leave the pit inside, brush the flesh with lemon juice, and store it in an airtight container with onion slices to keep it fresher longer. Let's recap. The 9 foods you should never refrigerate are potatoes, bread, honey, coffee, garlic, bananas, onions, tomatoes, and avocados. This has been brought to you by AgeWellDaily, where we uncover the hidden science behind senior health. Because aging well isn't about counting the years, it's about adding life to the years you already have.